Welcome to Thrive Unburdened's Celebrity channel. My name is Winnie, and in this video I will be talking about insecurities and what you can do to start working through them and overcome them. So let's get to it. Insecurities. We all have them, right? I haven't met a single person who did not have insecurities they struggled to reconcile with. Those inner gremlins and thoughts of self-doubt are all part of the human experience. And how we deal with them can either hold us back or make us stronger. So one of the things that I have always struggled with my entire life is my speech. I have a really bad stutter, especially when I'm speaking in Creole. And this has been a source of real insecurity and anxiety for me because I would always worry about what other people would think when they realized that I would stutter around with my words, and sometimes I literally could not make the words come out. And the older I got, the more I let this insecurity about my speech swallow me. In groups, I would stay silent. I would prefer to stay by myself because I was so afraid of talking. I was so afraid of speaking because I didn't want to be made fun of. I didn't want people to think that I was dumb or I was stupid or whatever. And the more that I worried about what other people would think or say, the more anxiety that I had over it. And the more I would just crumble into my shell. So several years ago, I was having a conversation with one of my cousins about this. And he said something to me that I will never forget. He said, "Win, you have a lot of opinions of your own and you have a lot of great insight to share. You can do two things with your stutter. You can either see it as a strength and use it as that, or you can let it silence you. But I wouldn't want you to let that hold you back." And my cousin was right. He was absolutely right. And after having that conversation with him, I started thinking about this. And I started asking myself why I was letting this thing about me, this stutter that was a part of me, hold me back so much and cause me so much anxiety. So I started changing my mindset about it. And instead of seeing it as a weakness and as something to hold me back, I started seeing it and started using it as a strength. You see, there's something about insecurities that tends to keep us in a loop. We get an insecurity, whether from outside influences or from within ourselves, and we start having negative self-talk and negative thoughts about ourselves based on that insecurity. And from there, we start getting anxiety about this. And then that anxiety can lead to crippling fear. So we get an insecurity, negative self-talk, negative self-doubt, however you want to put it, anxiety, and then fear. And it just keeps going in a circle, in a loop, round and round and round and round it goes. Before we know it, we can come to a standstill where we literally can't take steps forward because we are so afraid. We are so fearful that we might fail. Sometimes we're afraid that we might actually succeed and don't know what we would do with ourselves if we actually succeeded. We're worried about what other people might think of us. We're worried that we are not good enough, that we can't do this. We get all these negative self-talk, this self-doubt that just keeps us back. It holds us back to where we can't move forward. And so what I did with my stutter is that I changed my mindset about it, like I said before. And I started using it as a strength. Instead of seeing it as something to hold me back, I embraced it as part of who I was because it is part of who I am. It has nothing to do with my intelligence. It has nothing to do with who I am as a person. It has nothing to do with who I am as a sister, as a daughter, as a mother, as a wife, as a counselor. It has nothing to do with that. But it is a part of me. And so I embrace that. And since embracing that, I've been able to use it as a strength to help other people. Having a stutter has actually made me a better communicator, believe it or not. I'm able to slow down and to really listen to other people and to think about my words before speaking. This has been really helpful in talking with clients, coworkers, and my personal relationships, because I am able to now slow down and just use this stutter as something to propel me forward instead of something to hold me back. What I would encourage you all to do is to embrace your insecurities. Embrace those things. To all of you out there struggling with insecurities, with fears, with anxieties, with negative self-doubt, with negative self-talk, with all these things, I see you and I hear you, because I was you. No, I am you. Because you see, navigating self-doubt, navigating the self-talk, navigating those inner gremlins and trying to keep them silent is something that takes daily conscious decision. It takes a daily conscious effort to tell yourself, to tell those thoughts in your head to shut up, to silence them. So I hear you and I see you, and I am here to tell you that you can overcome those thoughts. You can overcome these insecurities so you can dream again, so you can take action steps, so you can take steps to start working on your plans, your goals, and to get out there, to do what you've been dreaming about doing for years now. Get out there and do it. You can do it. It's not easy to start confronting those thoughts and to actually get to a place where you can turn them off and tell yourself to be quiet. I get it. It takes daily practice. This is something that you would need to do every day, but it gets easier every day. I'm also here to tell you that you are an overcomer. You are. Before you were born, God knew you. You were created with and for a purpose. We were all created with unique abilities, characteristics, and personalities that we can use to change the world around us. You're an overcomer. You are not an afterthought. Embrace yourself. Embrace who you are. Embrace those insecurities. Embrace those weaknesses about you and turn them into strengths. You are an overcomer and you can do this and you will do this. Embrace yourself. Embrace your uniqueness and change your mindset. That weakness is a strength. That insecurity is a uniqueness.